everybody, welcome back to my channel, Intentional with Jennifer. This is going to be my August update for my 2-for-1, which for those of you who are new, my 2-for-1 is finish up 2 items, get to bring in 1 item. And this is a way for me to make sure that I'm running through my supply of things, not letting things expire, and also managing the space that I have allowable. So I will attempt to link the previous video where I show you where I store my perfume and lip products. But if I can't, just go look. It's not that far back. But I have a small drawer that I keep those items in ways that I want to be able to have stuff to where I can have a selection and have different formulas that I enjoy, but also be able to see everything and not have so much that I get overwhelmed and that it then becomes wasteful. So that's what this project is about. It is an aspect of my daily decisions for my intentional living. And with intentional living, sometimes it's a really big thing like getting a master's degree, but sometimes it's little stuff like just making your morning routine feel a little bit more calming. So that's those are steps that I've really started taking a lot in the past many years. So if you're interested in just daily in and out kind of stuff of just finding peace in your world, whether it's a DIY project, decluttering, a reorganization of your space, or just simply being able to enjoy the beautiful things that bring you a glimmer of joy in your day, come on over. I would love to hang with you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's get started. So as a reminder for my 2-for-1, I was doing the equivalent of 2 travel perfumes use up. And so that could be 5 samplers equals a traveler or just an actual traveler, but I got to finish out 2 to bring 1 into my collection. These are ones that likely I've already purchased, but then when I got them home, I looked in my drawer and I was like, where am I going to put these? So I also had the same issue with my lip products. And some of my lip products I personally purchased, but some came from my daughter, ones that she tried the formula or the color, and she was kind of done with that. And I was talking about maybe checking that out. And she's like, oh, here, do you want what I have? It turns out I didn't love that one or whatever. And so a lot of my collection, is a hodgepodge between her and myself when it came to the lip products. And I really wanted to be able to give it a real go. I also am really super competitive, but with myself. I'm not competitive with other people. I'm competitive with myself. So then when I have a challenge of finish something up, I get really stoked about it. So it's super nerdy, I know, but it is what it is. This is who I am. So I tried a whole lot of different products. I got super excited when I'd finished something, and then also found things that I was like, yeah, that was fun. And yes, this one I really do want to have again. And that's going to, again, fall in my 2-for-1 so that I don't over exceed my my stuff. I did have some movement happen in my perfume and lip drawer, and so I'm going to do a little reorg of that as I discussed in my previous one. So you can check out the first one and then see where it goes. All right, so let's get started on this. So I've got my cute little bowl that I was keeping all my items in, and then I had them that I put into a bigger bowl so that as I was finishing stuff out, I could remove it. So as a reminder, perfumes that I wanted to bring in were the Glossier You Do and the Glossier You Fleur. My friend gave me a gift card to Sephora, and I was able to pick these up with that, so it wasn't any expense out of my own budget, but also I got them home and said there's no space, so that's what prompted all of this. So those are the ones that I wanted to bring in. And with that, I had 5 little samplers, and then I had 3 little other perfumes. Okay, so what I had to use up was this Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia, which I did. I finished. And then I had this Joe Malone, and this one is the English Pear and Freesia, and I finished that as well. And then I had all these little samplers. Let's see if I can remember what these were because, okay, so I had Flower Bomb, and then there was also Flower Bomb Extreme. So that must be this one, Flower Bomb Extreme. I finished those. And then I had Joe Malone, Silver Birch, and Lavender. I don't like Silver Birch, which I learned from this using this. So it was a struggle to get through it. And I mixed it with some other scents that I do like. So it kind of offset everything. But I did finish it. And then I had Joe Malone, Frangipani, which lots of people love this one. I don't like it. I did find that I could pair it with this little cute little drugstore perfume that my daughter gave me, and it made it to where it was functional for me. So I finished that, and that was a struggle. That was a struggle. And then last one was this came out of my bougie bag that I got from Sephora. They called it the luxury bag, but it had just a bunch of different little random things that are really expensive when you go to buy them. And so they had all these like samples of it. I got the bag free when I was making a purchase. So I was like, yeah, I'll take that. And some things I really liked out of it. Some things I'm like, yeah. This one I did like. This was the Montal Arabian's Tonka, but my husband and my oldest daughter both commented like it had like a plasticky smell to it. So maybe it's just not the right one for me. So I liked it, but they noticed something I didn't. So it's a lot of money to spend on something that's not like fabulous and amazing. So finish that. So I finished up five samplers equivalent to one, and I finished up the Freesia and Pear. So those two equivalents going out means I get to bring one in. And so I'm going to bring in the Glossier You Fleur. So that will make its way to my drawer. You're probably saying, wasn't there a fourth fragrance? Yes, there's a fourth fragrance. It's currently in my purse, and I'm keeping it there in efforts to try to finish it. And that was the H2O. So it was EAU. I couldn't read it. So it was H2O was the brand, and it was the Brilliant Peony. It smells beautiful, but it's a rollerball, so it doesn't fit with my existence very well. But it did work for when one day I had to leave the house and I was in a bit of a hurry, and I realized I didn't have any fragrance on, which is so unlike me. It's like almost one of the first things I do. But I had that in my purse, so I was able to get something on in the car. So I did like it for that purpose, but I'm really struggling to finish that one out. So I did not finish all four equivalents this month. I only get to bring in one. So I'm going to keep this Gucci in the thing because I want to keep everything together, but I did finish that this month. And the Glossier You Do is going to have to wait another month because I didn't get it all finished, and that's okay. All right, so when it came to my lip products, I had 4 lip products that I was going to use up and to be able to bring into. So those 2 lip products was the Charlotte Tilbury Kissing in Rose to Fame. I don't know. Can you see that? Boop. There. That one. And then the other one was the House Labs Atomic Shake Lip Lacquer, and that is in Sheer Blush. Whoop, there we go. So you can see kind of what that color looks like. I'm super excited to try this one. The Charlotte Tilbury, I already know that I like that. And the ones that I had that were needing to go out were, I had a couple of Tower 28s. This one here is I think this is pistachio. Pistachio, I finished this one up. It does look like there's the tiniest bit in there, but I can't get the rest out. I mean, I was like doing it upside down and scripting on the sides, and I was taking out the little top pieces, but I finished it out the very best that it can be finished out, so that one's done. And then the other one that I finished out was coconut and Charlotte Tilbury. So you can see like there's just like nothing left. I did the same thing with that one. All right, so those two finished, and I'm going to bring in the House Labs because I have Charlotte Tilbury. I have a number in that formula, and so I am still working on those too. I want to make sure that when I bring things in, that I have enough time to work on stuff. And although I think it's a 3-year expiration on those bullet lipsticks, I don't want to have too many in rotation that anything doesn't get its desired look. All right, so this one I'm going to bring in. I am excited about that. And then I've got not a ton of progress on the Tower 28 Sesame. I think it's about the same as what it was before. I did it a couple times, but there were on days that my makeup was really dark, and so I wanted to do a lighter lip. So I ended up not doing a lot with this one. So again, I'll have next month work on it. What I did find was, although I was still fully using other lip products, other bullet lipsticks, I used some of my Fenty glosses, I was still getting able to use the Tower 28 lip gloss because a lot of times I'll put that over a bullet to get more of a sheen and also to kind of calm down if the bullet lipstick that I chose feels a little bit too dominant. So it does look like I can get through like one of those in a month, even with use of other things. So that's good for me to kind of know that. I will end up later replacing the pistachio. That is actually one that I had selected for myself originally. I do still very much like that one. And I like that when I'm trying to do really just a much lighter lip, it does the sheen. Like I love doing that with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I have a mini of that. I'm almost done with that actually. And I like putting that over the top because I just love the way it sheens together. But I also like doing it with a darker lip because it tones it down. All right, so I will get the pistachio again, but not right now. Probably more towards the fall. And then this last one I had was the Tatcha, and this one is Midnight Lily. I don't think Sephora has this one anymore because I didn't see it last time. And it's called the Kissu Lip Tint. It has SPF. I'm sure this SPF is long gone. It definitely is because I actually only just recently found the expiration date, and it was November of 2025. So that's long gone. But let's see if you can see how much I've used there and how much I have left. I did use this a few times over the last month. Um, I enjoyed using it. Um, I haven't been able to decide what I was doing for my lips today, so I really just didn't do anything to my lip today. So maybe when I do an intro to this, I'll have my lip on. I don't know. But I'm really going to do a lot of focusing on this and a lot of focusing on this over the next month so that I can then bring in this other one. And so this is an ongoing project. So I've decided I'm going to bring in some new stuff because I was looking at my expiration dates on my various lip products. And I do have some that are going to expire or possibly expire this fall. So like somewhere between I think it was October and November. So I want to show you what I'm bringing in for that. So I'm going to put back in my little bowl these items that I need to work on and what I want to bring in so that we have that. So Glossier Do, and I'll bring this one back in and my other one's in my purse. Okay, so what am I bringing in? All right, so I have this Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Sticks in Lust Bunny. I got a different color previously. It looked beautiful in store, and it looks like concealer lip on me. So I felt sad by that. But I'm still going to use it because I'm not wasting products, and I just pair it with other things to I lip liner on all over my lips to give my lips more color. My lips are pale. I literally have like lip liner all over my lips right now that I just kind of mudged in. So this is not my natural lip color. My lip color is very pale. And so these ones that swatched nice on my hand did not end up translating onto the finger, from the finger to the lip. And I hope that this one's different, but I'm not going to open it yet because there's a 12-month lifespan on these guys. And I do have a number of them in my drawer currently. And I am deciding which colors I'm going to renew and which colors I'm going to let go of, because I was doing a couple of things with Fenty. I was trying all the different formulas and trying the different colors. And there are some colors that are multiple formulas, like the Fenty Glow and the Brain Fogging. I'm going to have to probably try to click that one in because I'm forgetting the name of the color, which I have so many of. It's one of their main ones. I don't know how I'm doing that, but moving on. But anyway, so I want to be able to bring this in. However, I don't want to bring it in yet. And so we'll do the thing. I'll probably, as this next month ends, and I figure out which one I'm going to bring in, whether it's this one or the Charlotte Tilbury, I feel like I will have already made some other progress in my drawer. So this is the one I want to bring in. And the ones that I want to use, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to tell you now because I think it's on here. Except the writing is so tiny I can't see. So Fussy. Fussy is the other one. Okay, so I have a lot of the Fussies. So for instance, I have the Fussy in oil. And I love this. And I'm about, I think, half to 3/4 of the way through. It was laying on its side, so I can't totally see it. And then I have this cream formula, and I do believe this one's Fenty Glow. So I am looking at, I don't think I'm going to do the oils again because I do kind of a bleeding situation out of the lip liner. So I'm probably not going to do any more oil, just like I'm not going to do heat anymore because I didn't like the way it felt. My husband didn't like the way it felt. So I'm going to finish this up. It's beautiful. But when I do the Fussy, I'm going to stick with one of the gloss sticks. And then I think I'll also stick with one of the gloss, the like regular gloss ones. I can't recall the name of that. And then cream. I also have Mauve Wives, and I do like it. And that's the only formula they have that in. But that might become the only cream that I stick with. I think creams are a 9-month. So I'm really trying to stick with the formulas that have a 12-month expiration for down the road longevity. All right, so these are the ones that I'm going to use up. I'm going to use up the cream in Fenty Glow, and I'm going to use up the oil in Fussy, and I would like to get these done before their expiration date. So will I get all of this done in the next month? No, probably not. Because I like to use my other stuff too. But I am going to start working on it to where at least in August I'm working on it, and then probably in September I'm working on it, and then I will have cleared out things that are very clearly expired in the form of the Tower 28 and the Tatcha, but then also move things out before expiration and start doing that process for myself. All right, so these ones are rolling in. And then as far as, so my perfumes that I'm bringing in this month are very different. Okay, so I want to bring into my collection this Gucci Bloom in the travel. I had picked it up. I was very excited about it. There are some others that I'm excited about that I want to bring in. But again, it was that space thing. So I wanted to move some stuff out. So this is the one that I want to bring in. So that's going to go into my little bowl. And then these are the ones that I'm going to use up. Now, am I going to finish these perfumes in the month of August? I doubt it. I truly, truly doubt it. The rule is 2 travels for 1 new travel. All right, that's the rule. And travels are usually about 10 mils. So all of these are freaking full. They're so full. Okay, so this one, I'm not sure how many ounces this is. This one is called, it's Ming Shu Fleur Rare. It smells fine. Okay, it smells fine. It's a little bit of like a floral. Can you see that better now? Let's do that. Okay, so it's a little bit of a floral. It's a dabber. It's a dabber. It's so messy. Okay. I've mentioned I have OCD in a past video. I don't like when things are super messy. So I don't like if the containers don't fit in my storage correctly, they got to go. So like I've got eyeliners out, lip liners out because they're, the retractables and they won't fit in my little storage. Those have gone. Perfumes, if I don't like the dispenser, I will use it. I will finish it. I'm not going to waste, but I won't be doing that again. So like roller balls, I don't like them. They got to go. Dabbers. A dabber can only survive if that is such an amazing scent that I feel like that's my signature. That one's me. I don't think this is going to be my signature scent, but I appreciate that it had been given to me. I'm going to use it. And I want to say it's probably like, I think this one's probably more like somewhere between a 5 to 9 mils when I'm just kind of looking at it compared to others, but it's really hard to tell with the shape. So I'm counting this, and then I'm just going to count the tail end of a traveler, and then that will be, I'm not a traveler, a sampler, and that'll be the end of one. And this particular one is the Glossier You Fleur. And the reason why I didn't have it in before is because it didn't feel like it was enough that I would feel happy with the volume. And so when I finish this, I'll be able to open my other one and start using that. So I might even wait a little bit on this because I think I still want to wait to actually open up that particular new perfume, even though it's making its way to the drawer, because I want to rotate things. Okay, all right. So that's that. That's going to count as one traveler. And these other ones are going to count as one traveler. They're so cute. Look at them. Okay, so actually, I think I was going to do some other ones. I'm already changing my mind. Hold on. Be right back. Okay, I'm back again. All right. So I showed you all before I had this cute little gold box in the perfume drawer, and this was a humongous out of sight, out of mind. So it was a gold box, but it came with this little sleeve, and it's this cute little Estee Lauder perfume treasures, it says. I've had it hanging around for decades really. Like, I'm sure one of my husband's relatives from Taiwan gave it to me. They're like the most beautiful, kind, sweet people whenever we've got these relatives coming to visit from Taiwan. um, Anyways, so this one, it had Estee Lauder Pleasures, beautiful, dazzling gold, and dazzling silver. Now, when I looked these up, I do believe that beautiful is still like an active, sold perfume. I'm not sure about Pleasures, but dazzling gold and dazzling silver, which is these two, dazzling gold and dazzling silver, they don't appear to be a thing anymore. So I'm not going to do the thing where I'm like, oh, I can't get it again, so I'm gonna hoard it. I'm not going to do that. I hadn't been using it all this time, and if it was that important to me at some point, I would have done it previously, but I didn't. But I still appreciate that I was given it. So these two, because these are, I think, 4.5 mils. Let me double check. Yeah, actually, they're 5 mils each, so they're equivalent of a traveler. These little tiny guys. So when I finish these, that'll be one. So I've got one, I've got two to then bring in the one. And so that's a lot of stuff to be working on over this next month. And I also want to be able to kind of really suss out that cream Fenty to see, like, if I really, really, really love the formula, then maybe I'll be willing to deal with that 9-month shelf life. But I think probably not. So that's my stuff for this month. So I've got like my little bowl going here. It's stupid full, you guys. Look at that. It's like really, really, really full. Okay. That's crazy pants. We'll see what happens. Okay. I mean, I did get a lot of work done this month, and I got to bring in one lip and one perfume. So this is going to be a rolling deal. We'll see how far I get on things next month. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get through that, at least that roller ball. And so I'll be able to bring one of these perfumes into the mix. and then we'll just, go month by month. All right. That's all I got for you today on that. I will be filming when I redo the perfume and lip drawer. I don't know if that's this month or next month, but I am going to be realigning because I did finish that Tafe Rose, and that was the big shift that needed to happen for everything else. And as a reminder, I will be holding on to the travelers that I emptied, and on any of these little guys, these little samplers that I'm like, yes, I would like to do that one again, I'm going to keep them in a little box in my drawer, so to remind myself, because I will definitely forget that I wanted to do that one further, but also I might actually forget that I even tried them at all and that I like them. It seems crazy, but sometimes when I've checked the list off in my brain, my neurodivergent brain, once I've moved past in such a way that that's like another life to me. So that's where we're at. Thanks for joining me today. Sorry if this got too long. I got to go get ready because I think I only have a short bit of time to get the house ready before my grandson comes over. That was, a last minute, like saw the text at 6 a.m. Hey, can I bring him over? And that's part of the intentional living. When I'm living every single day intentionally, I am able to just stop something that I'm doing and shift everything and have my grandson come over. And I got to tell you, I love that. I love that so much that I have, simplified my life in such a way that I am able to do that I am able to last minute accept a plan with a friend, or I am able to last minute take my grandson for however many hours that my daughter needs me to take care of him. And we have a great time when he's over here. All right. So thank you so much. Live your life intentionally today in whatever way that is meaningful for you. And I will see you the next time. Bye-bye. Okay, hey guys. I want to go ahead and do a quick little reorganization here in the drawer. So I finished that tape rose, and that was the hinge point for being able to do some reorganization. So the tape rose was right here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull some of this stuff out so that we can kind of get to work in here. All right, so I've already recorded my end of July, beginning of August update on my 2-for-1. So you can take a look at that and be able to, kind of see some of the other actions that I did here. All right, so see the box is big. It just takes up a lot of space. So I'm going to be able to move that into the other spot. Let me take this little deal out, and I'm going to utilize these for other storage. So I think I'm going to keep this one in the back, and I'll be able to put my empty traveler. So I've got my Chiale Fleur. Oof, that one rarely fits in there. I have to do it cornered. It's fine. That's why I did a tall box. And then I don't know if I'm replacing this one and in what form, but this is the Joe Malone, and it's the English Pear and Freesia. So I just finished that in my 2-for-1. So I'm going to hold on to the travelers until I really decide if I'm going to do it or not, and if I'm going to get a big one or if I'm just going to get another traveler. And then I also have the Flower Bomb Extreme. I did like this one. I prefer this one over the Flower Bomb, but I'm not ready to get that yet. But I'm going to put it here as a reminder to myself that I have that available. And then just as a reminder, I do have some of my perfumes that I stick with here. And I think I do like the size of the box that I'm working with right there. So I'm going to keep that one there. And on this one, I've got some lip stuff that I got thrown in there. I'm going to have to do something else with that. I think that's where I'm going to do one of these other boxes. But I've got, more of my little samplers. And as I get them from Sephora, I just chuck them in there until I'm ready to deal with them. And I've got my Sakura Cherry Blossom there and my Paris perfume. So I'm going to slide those back into place and then get this one back into place. So I've got As a reminder, I've got my little travelers that I have back in here. And then I'm going to kind of slide it back a little bit more with my 50 mils. So I've got my Scarlet Poppy and my new Tape Rose that I will open up whenever I open that up. And I can fit another traveler over here if I feel like it. So like I could just move one of those over there. And then put this one back into place here. So I will move this box down into here. And I'm holding on to this cute little gold box. This one had those Estee Lauder perfumes in it. I'll probably remove the divider at some point and use this for something else. Don't ask me what. I don't know. But that is an adorable box. I'm just going to shift these things in here. And then my lip products, I have decided that although there's 24 slots, I don't want to have actively 24 items open in use. So I will stick with 16, and then this row can be, if I have a favorite lip product that goes on sale, like when Sephora does its 50% off for certain things, I can then get my backup to like a favorite one. So for instance, I really did some soul searching on these Fenty gloss sticks, and I've got the Is It Fussy and the Fussy, and I opted for, although I really love the one that has the shimmer to it, I could just be doing, one of the regular glosses, which has a shimmer in it. So I'm going to stick with the solid. I'll use this up with Reckless Abandon at this point. But when I go to replace this color, I'm going to do it with the gloss as opposed to the stick, so that I just have a little bit cutting those colors down. Because the Fussy, I literally have the Fussy oil that I just added into my 2-for-1, and that meant I had 3 that are all the same color. I think for me that feels a little excessive. I did like trying all the formulas. I did like seeing the different sheens, but I don't need to have that much. So I'm going to run it down to 2. And then on these other ones, so for instance here, I've got the Riri. I've got it in the gloss stick. I've also got it in the regular gloss. And I don't know which one I'm going to keep. So I'm going to really test those out, but I'm going to cut that down to 1. I just don't think I need that. This one here, I opted and decided that it's just too bright. And so I like it, but I do tend to put other things to tone it down. So I won't replace that. And then this one here is so different. The Icy Amethyst is so different from anything else. I'll use this, but I just don't know if I'm going to use it enough to get it again. But if I just keep all of these things into just here, when I do have something where I'm like, oh, it's on sale, and let's say this one goes 50% off again, which is how I ended up with a few of these, was they went 50% off, and that's why I tried these 3 colors that I wasn't entirely sure of, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to jump on it. I'll be able to restock this, and then I'll just keep them down here in my restocks. And how will I know that I have too much backstock? I won't have space, and I won't be able to do it. So I still need to be conscientious. So I'll only have 16 that are in use, and that's going to include glosses. So if I have an empty spot in here, it's going to be because I have it in a different spot, like in the bathroom or in the nightstand. And that way, obviously right now, I'm not in that place, but that's the place I want to get to. So I started shifting things so I could. So everything that's down here, those are going to end up in my 2-for-1 at some point, or just in my Project Pan projects. So I think what I've decided to do with this box is this is where I'm going to put the items that I have earned the ability to bring into my collection. I earned these because I got 2 items out to bring these in, but I'm not opening them yet. So I'm going to stick them there, but then I know I can do that. And these are just like samplers, and I'm not going to ever count these in my 2-for-1, but I will want to try these out and see if any of these colors are really striking me. I've tried this formula before, and it tended to really just come off, but maybe it was that particular color. Maybe I did it to sheer. I don't know. So I'm going to try these others, and I'm going to give it a real try. All right, so there's that, and oh gosh, moving that box there means I don't have space for that. So I'm going to shift these. I'm going to move that gold box so that I have room for the Kaoli, because remember, I can't put that in a box, otherwise it won't close. All right, and I probably don't need to keep that box, but I'm feeling attached to it. I did move the product up here, so I had everything in place. And I think that's going to do it for right now. So this is what I'm working on, making these the only areas where I have stuff in use. This will be the areas where it's stuff that isn't open yet. These aren't open, but I just put them there so I could try to start getting myself an idea. And then I still have a couple of chapsticks over here. So I still have too much for my standards for me. And this is probably more than enough for somebody else and not even enough for yet another person. So that's the fun thing about life. We get to choose where our own boundaries are. And so this is where I'm starting to move the direction of. And I reserve the right to change my mind, because that's what we do sometimes in life. When we try something and we realize it's not quite right for us, we have the right to change our minds and reassess. And that is intentional living. Really thinking about what you're doing for your own life and the life of your family on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes it's little tiny decisions like rearranging your perfume and lip drawer to make sure that you are feeling like you get to do all the fun stuff, but also don't feel like you're being excessive. And sometimes it's really big stuff like helping your kids decide if they're going to go to grad school. So this is not grad school level, but it is a part of my daily function. And so it becomes important. The little things are important to you guys. Life is built on a whole lot of little things. They're not all just the big things. So here's the organization for now. And if I find that it feels too cluttered in my mind when I'm looking at this, then I'll reassess it again and go further. I definitely know that these things in this back corner, though, are not very accessible. And that's why putting my travel bottles there for future use is a really good spot for them. So I feel good on that, and the rest we'll figure it out. All right, that is it on this one. Uh, Whatever you do today, be intentional in your decisions and whatever that means for your life. All right, folks, I'm going to see you later. Take care.